All right, you guys, look who's on the show. I had to get this mighty WOC on the show. We've been trying to get it done too.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get it done, and I've been persistent because everybody's pulling at her left and right. Hey, come on my show, do this. And I've been kind of associated with Coach over the years.
Yeah.
I remember watching her when she was on her way up. So I
Yeah.
think that got me a little equity.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Coach, tell me this. I had to ask all the coaches this, and
Mhm.
it amazes me that they give me this answer. Did you want to be a coach? You should hear all the stuff I hear. Did you really start? Did you really want to be a coach coming from Freeport,
Yeah.
Bahamas?
Yeah. No, actually, but I've always wanted to be in leadership. So I've
Mm-hmm.
always, I thought I was going to be a CEO of some type of organization. So I didn't call it coach, but I guess I kind of did. I always wanted to have some type of leadership role. My dad wanted me to be an accountant, but
That's
that
a
was just not
fraternity
for
itself.
yeah, it was just not for me. So, but leadership was something that I was always drawn to because my mom was a principal for 30 plus years, and my dad was a coach and a leader in the community. So I was destined to be in this position.
Okay. Well, good stuff. I just wanted to get that out the way because I talked
Yeah.
to so many coaches. I talked to Joni, and Joni wasn't going to be a coach.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't want, she was supposed to be. And then I talked to Harris, Coach Harris out at
Yeah.
Baylor. She didn't
Uh-huh.
start off wanting to be a coach. And I say,
Really?
that amazes me that you only one that was like Kate Pay from Stanford was like,
Yeah, I
Coach,
can see
I
that.
did a month. I did a month in the courtroom because Kate's a lawyer. And it's like I spent the month in the courtroom, and that let me know right then and there, Carrie,
It's
that I
not for
wanted to get
me.
back to basketball. Yeah. So that was good stuff. Hey, listen, I watched your history. You started at Rhode. How did you come from Bahamas to Rhode Island?
Well, so I started at Florida Atlantic, and
Okay.
so, but people really don't talk about FAU because I was only there for a year. So, the coach at FAU, Chancellor Dugan, she's now retired, was at Southern Indiana, and they would play in tournaments in the Bahamas. And so I would always at halftime run out and shoot during the halftime games because my dad would work the tournaments. And when she became a Division I head coach, she followed up, and they flew down to the Bahamas and watched me play, and offered me a scholarship on spot. So I went there for a year, and it didn't work out for me how I wanted. I wanted to play, and just didn't have the opportunity to do it as much. So instead of back in the day, you had to sit out when you transferred, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to sit out. And I
Mm-hmm.
met at the Miami Soul game, the WNBA. People don't know, like Miami had a team, and I was at the game, and my friends was like, "That's the coach for Miami Dade," and I met Susan Summons, and Susan Summons said, "Just come to me for a year. I'll get you your swagger back, your confidence." And if you know Susan Summons, she's an OG. And so I went and played for her for a year, and I ended up at Rhode Island because I had never seen snow. I was just really curious. And out of all the schools, they told me I would have my own apartment. I was like, deal.
Bahamas to snow.
I know. I know. I hadn't been back since. That snow just got but
So then you ended up at Hampton. You went from Hampton and you were there at Hampton.
no,
How'd
I
that
went
work
to
out?
UAPB.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
you went to Hampton and played.
No. No, I
Okay.
just finished up at Rhode Island, and then I started at the junior college ranks at Frank Phillips.
Okay. Well, let's talk
Yeah.
about that coaching start off too, real quick, so
Yeah.
we can get into some juicy stuff.
Cool.
You started
Yeah,
off at Arkansas Pine Bluff.
yeah. No, so I started off at Frank Phillips College, and I had applied for like 50 jobs, and I got 49 no's. And Frank Phillips he offered me the job. He was like, "I'm gonna pay you $800 a month. I can't help you get out here." And I was like, "Okay, where is it?" And it was in Borger, Texas. And I sold my car, I sold everything I had, and I went I went out to Borg, and I showed up. I was like, this is gonna be. But I was excited because it was an opportunity for me to start my career. My college coach on my way out told me I should get into coaching. And so I went to So You Want to Be a Coach. And that was when I had a chance to
That
hear
was at the
from.
Final Four.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. In 2004. and I had a chance to hear from Vivian Stringer, and
Ah,
in
now
and in
that's
her
an OG.
OG, and when I heard from her, she said, "I wouldn't hire any of y'all in here because none of y'all got experience." And some people were discouraged, but for me, I was pumped up. And I was like, man, this is what I want to do. I want to one day be in a position where she would want to hire me. And
Hmm.
so I started my journey at the junior college, and I was there for a year. And then the assistant coach who was at Rhode Island called me and said that his buddy, Danny Evans, got a Division I job at Arkansas Pine Bluff. And so they got me there because I didn't have my master's, and they said you can come and be a grad assistant, but it's really like an assistant coach because I don't have three assistants. And so I jumped on there, and I actually kind of worked full time and went to school, got my master's in secondary education, and
Uh-huh.
from there I started climbing Portland, Oregon,
Oh, you got to
Pitt.
stop there. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't just roll through Portland. Now, how my girl WOC up in, I know I've been to Portland a couple of times,
Yeah,
and I call it Funky PO up there because my boy up
yeah,
there. And
yeah,
Portland, come on. Now, tell me, I
yeah.
know
Portland,
Portland
Portland
is,
is Portland is different, but my husband and I, we really enjoyed it. We were newlyweds, and so but it was really far from the Bahamas, so it took me a long time to get home and with the time change. But I was chasing my goals and what I wanted to do, and I just loved coaching. So for me, like I would go wherever they gave me the opportunity, and they gave me one. Jim Sollers, who's there and there to me to this day, gave me an opportunity.
yeah, Portland. And when I saw that on your resume, I was like, man, she spent 2 years up in Portland. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know they do
yeah,
got some. They got some of us up there, and
yeah, they
I've been like I said,
do.
they got some of us in
Yeah.
PO. I got my buddy who went to Morehouse, and I went to Clark.
Okay.
He was
Yeah.
from Portland.
Yeah,
So
Portland is cool. Like the summers are beautiful. It's just
just
the
rain too
winters.
much.
Yeah, it's rough. But I cut my teeth there, and was able to develop relationships in the
That's what it's all
Pacific
about.
Northwest and West Coast. And so really that's why I could kind of recruit everywhere because I've been in a lot of places.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
You know you won the Rob Palinka Award, so
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that. So well, next stop we're gonna get into two more stops, and then we're gonna
Uh-huh.
get in it because I know you're busy and I take up too much of your
Sure.
time. There to Clemson, you
Yes.
coached at
No, I
Clemson,
went from there to Pitt
the
and
Pit.
Pitt to Clemson.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
those were
then
my
what was the next stop? Because I want if you
okay. Yeah.
Texas
So
Tech.
no, so after I went from Pitt to Clemson, that's when we had our first child, and I got the head coaching job at Jacksonville.
Okay, now we're gonna plan this
Yeah,
thing.
so
We're
then I
getting
moved to
close.
Jacksonville, spent 5 years, and now I'm here.
Okay, so now we at Ole Miss. You built this thing from the ground up. What part of this coaching journey from the Bahamas shaped you for this leadership role?
Everything. My parents, they're like really pillars in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Really respected. My dad has, a highway and a park named after him. He's in
Wow.
several Hall of Fames. My mom, being a principal for 30 years, it's not a lot of family trees she hadn't touched.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they have dedicated their life to servanthood and philanthropy.
I'm
And
big on
so,
that.
yeah, instead of them even telling me to do it, I kind of learned just from watching them. And that's
Okay.
what kind of made me, who I am, just the whole Bahamian culture, a prideful culture, the way we work, it's just really a